What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. It is May 14th, 2019. Good to be back with you. Taking the first sip of Natty Light of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Had that little Mother's Day weekend break there. A little break from the political outrage, all right? We're out here, we're getting our money together. We're getting our bill shekels collected out here. And we're getting screenplay pages written. All right. And it looks like, what up, Nitai? Looks like we may be having some progress towards some goddamn justice. What up, Deplorable? Hope y'all had a lovely Mother's Day weekend there. Unfortunately, I couldn't be with my wonderful mother back in Oklahoma. We had a nice little phone conversation. All right. But we're out here defending Western civilization. What up, Chowder Kitty? And I will acknowledge that we will probably have some snoring in the background of the podcast. That's, that's the sound of the deep state. They're asleep at the wheel, and I will acknowledge the snoring when it becomes apparent. What up, Donkey Kong? I got some brake pads for my car today. I stopped screeching and squealing, embarrassing myself out here in Beverly Hills. Now I just still got the dusty hatchback with an InfoWars bumper sticker on it, and a few dents on it. But I'm not I'm not screeching like a feminist on a CNN panel. And that's how I like to rock it, dude. I like them nice, soft, luscious brake pads, dude. Q says it's a boom week. Oh boy. Well, I can see how he would think that. Whoever QAnon is, the esteemed deep state private eye there. We fashion ourselves deep state private eyes here on the Outrage Cast, ladies and gentlemen. And a certain man from Connecticut, all right, has been appointed by William Barr to investigate the origins of the Russia probe. Oh. The left doesn't want to go there, do they? Anything but that. Don't do that. We can't do that. That's treasonous. Mental impeachment. We were moving on to impeachment. That was the plan. We were going to just pretend that, that there was evidence. We've been pretending there's evidence for 2 years. Why can't we just continue to pretend that there's evidence? Who cares what Mueller says? There doesn't have to be actual evidence. Trump's a bigot. What more evidence do you need? Comey report drops this week. What is Comey reporting on? His bowel movements to CNN? He thinks everybody's so interested in his narcissistic, second-to-second behavior. He's going to give a full, transcript of his metabolic activity. I think is that what the Comey report is? Oh, the DOJ investigation of Comey. I see what you're talking about, Deplorable. And from what I remember, Deplorable One, he said he was that, he said he was that 6'6" hundo. All right, so that's a big man on the trail of the deep state. They've got a lot to be worried about, and they got to worry about this new fellow, Mr. John Durham. All right, the guy that William Barr has appointed to investigate the origins of this goddamn treasonous sneakery. What up, Raw Dog? We running that no huddle, dude. We running that, drawing it up in the dirt. We out here, defending Western civilization. We're moving the chains. What's crack-a-lackin', Florida Stacker? We're out here, we're getting first downs. We're stepping up in the pocket. We're surveying the defense. We're surveying the deep state defense, and they're sitting back, and now they came with a lot of blitzes, and they had a whole exotic blitz package called impeach Donald Trump, and use the 25th Amendment to try to eradicate him, use the fake Russia probe, use that whole Steele dossier there. They ran the Trump pisses on Russian hookers, corner blitz, and it backfired, dude. Trump made a play. The American people are backing him up. All right. We're in the huddle. We're fired up. We're moving the chains. We're surveying the defense. And now they're in prevent, dude. They're in prevent defense, and they're on their heels. And now we have this man, Mr. John Durham. Oh boy, he looks. He makes me feel guilty when I look at him. I do have a mobile, station rig here on the podcast, so I can move. And let's just take a look at John Durham. Dude, come on. For those who are just listening, this man, he has the mustache chin beard combo of a lifetime. What up, Cactus Jack? This guy has mustache growing over, his mouth. It's just one patch of hair. He's just dripping with toxic masculinity. All right? He looks like he's ready to lock somebody up. I was reading about this motherfucker, and he's been instrumental in locking up corrupt feds in Boston that were working with Whitey Bulger. What up, AJ? So this dude, he will, don't give him a bowl of soup, because that's going to get all over his face. What up, Mr. Kranich? Don't give him a bowl of soup, He can't really do oatmeal. He can't do chili. But goddamn it, he might lock up a corrupt cop. Oh, Comey is shitting his pants. Been enjoying Ramadan. It's not what we're doing. All right, I'm going the opposite end of Ramadan. I'm on that calorie surplus. What up, Archer? I'm on that goddamn calorie surplus. We're getting our shoulders bigger on the podcast, little by little, dude. You can't even see it because I'm doing an understated little jacket piece tonight. I'm not going to get rowdy on the podcast. We'll see. However many beers I get in. But, we're keeping it civilized while we defend Western civilization. Cactus Jack says, tranny, feminist, and gay kid, both Obama supporters, shoot up a school and nothing is said about it. MAGA hat teen stares at red skin and is breaking news for weeks. Shake my head. Exactly, dude. I saw somebody talking about that on Twitter. And it's like, this is when the corporate whore media decides, like, oh, we really shouldn't politicize these shooters, and it seems like you're inspiring future shooters by giving these people fame and notoriety, and that's what they do. They do it to live in infamy. And it's like, even if there is a hint of truth to that, it's like, now you're bringing that argument up when I didn't even look too deep into the shooting. Tranny, feminist, and gay kids shoot up a school. Where was that? Where did that happen? I didn't even look that much into it because I was just out doing my thing. I was listening. The only news I was consuming was I was listening to podcasts on the road and shit. What up, G Prime? Glue me in. Where did that happen? How many kids did they shoot? What up, Dave? He's on that Honey Jack in Colorado. A lot of resentful leftists in Colorado, dude. In that Boulder area, they just... They're really mad that people find, their flip-flops and unwashed feet disgusting. 8 injured and 1 died. Yeah, 6 companies own all the media. CIA talking points distributed every morning. Yeah, they all repeat everything in lockstep. it's a, it's a unified NPC programming wave that goes out to the useful idiots for totalitarianism, and you just passively accept it and, yes, absorb it. And just, we will use your soul for our ends, all right? Your soul is required. Just submit it to us, and we shall roll it, like we shall knead it like dough. We shall knead your consciousness until we get those bubbles of critical thinking out of it. All right, we want a nice uniform NPC dough that we mold our citizens for totalitarianism out of. No individual liberties, no principles, all right? No mission, no purpose. You can't have any of that. You just got to take your happy pills that are advertised on CNN and manage those side effects. All right, just like the country's doing, we're managing the side effects of the big evil orange man in charge. We've all got to manage our side effects because we're beside ourselves, triggered every day because we just care so much. Will Trump participate in a peaceful transition of power if he loses in 2020? That's one of the narratives that's been pumped out there, lockstep. You can tell that that's like the next, priming thing. Because they tried to prime, in the 2016 election, they tried to prime the public that, oh, Trump and his supporters, they're going to riot in the streets and it's going to be crazy if Trump loses. And oh my God, it's going to be horrific. And it's like, what happened? Trump won, and all the leftists went out in the streets and started flopping around, and and Antifa was everywhere trying to shut down free speech, and they're trying to grab guns and set up fucking fake hate crime hoaxes and all of this nonsense. And the whole Russia investigation that was started on a fundamental lie, all right, is now being looked into. Will the walrus man himself, Mr. John Durham, the mustache of the century, will he investigate these criminal lie guys that are perpetually in the goddamn halls of power? What up, front hole enthusiast? Cactus Jack says Y2K, Mayan 2012 apocalypse, and now 2032 AOC climate change apocalypse. You can't say the world's going to end every 12 years. Yeah, they need a disaster, all right, because they need reality to match what's happening in their brain, because they have such fucking Trump derangement syndrome that it's every day is apocalyptic, that they wake up and remember Trump as the president, and they remember that their communist subversion takeover has failed, and they're being exposed. Every day is an apocalypse, all right, in the mind of a leftist. Every day is Mad Max, and before you know it, they get together, with their resentful psycho friends, and they go shoot up a goddamn school. These bastards. And then they blame it on gun owners. Oh boy. Let's have some more crying children and tell all the responsible gun owners that it's their fault that they died. Oh, how fun is it to spin it right into our narrative? But they didn't do that this time. The whole narrative was, oh, we can't have the identities of these shooters. Oh. Goes against our narrative. I'm still going with Kanye 2024. All right, we got to get the black community on board. Because, Trump's the blackest president we've already had, but I think Kanye, he would surpass him. Uh-oh, Archer's posting gun videos. Archer's posting gun videos. Cactus Jack says, Colorado and Canada legalize drugs and both are ruined. Well, I don't know. I just think that there happens to be a lot of leftists that are on the side of legalizing drugs, but they, for some reason, don't use the same argument when it comes to the prohibition of other things. So like, oh, they're more than willing to prohibit Alex Jones' ability to communicate on social media, or Owen Benjamin, or Milo Yiannopoulos. They're more than willing to prohibit that. Oh, the government can prohibit. Oh, that will be just fine. And it's like, no, we see it over and over. And if people want something, making a law against it is not going to stop them from wanting the thing. All right, when they instituted prohibition of alcohol, that didn't make people want to drink less. It just created, an underground criminal organization designed to give people their alcohol. And so I just think there happened to be a lot of leftists in the weed movement, but they're not, they're not consistent thinkers. Okay, they're not scientific in their thinking, like a guy like Bill Nye. No, we can get into Bill Nye here. He was trending on Twitter today, just for pure. The left is like having to dumb down their message so much. It's hilarious. Like, Bill Nye was trending on Twitter just for like flipping out and setting a globe on fire and saying fuck a lot. He was saying fuck like a 12-year-old who just figured out that he could say fuck. And so we're this fucking planet. Oh, fucking, it's on fire. Fuck. And it's like, is this the argument for that you're making for the climate change disaster there? Is that your well-reasoned position there, Mr. Scientist? Oh my God, he's a clown, dude. He's a fucking clown, and nobody even, like, it's all this appeal to authority. None of the leftists that are on board with the whole like climate change is a disaster thing, they never have any data or evidence to back it up. They just saw a documentary narrated by David Attenborough, and the caterpillars, these rare African caterpillars are going to be left without a home if we don't get rid of fossil fuels in the next 10 years. And it's like, what? Like, it's all this appeal to emotion. Oh, we must save the planet. The planet is on fire. Oh, I'm so thankful these deep state cronies, they've filled my pockets to narrate this documentary. And I'm here to tell you that if we don't take drastic measures, our planet will literally combust. All these horseshit scare tactics, dude. What in the fuck? You need your RFID chips for protection. Let your government install the chip, and you shall become sentient with the technology, and Elon Musk is going to send you to Mars. I think Elon Musk might be a supervillain. What up, Matt 2 EU? Yeah, I can play the Bill Nye clip. I bet it's right up here. Yeah, he did the segment on the esteemed intellectual endeavor there of last week tonight. All right, let's go to Alyssa Milano's Twitter. Oh boy, the heart of intellectualism in America, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here's Bill Nye. Is this the video? Yeah.
Glasses on. But here, I've got an experiment for you. Safety glasses on. By the end of this century, if emissions keep rising, the average temperature on Earth could go up another 4 to 8 degrees. What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire. There are a lot of things we could do to put it out. Are any of them free? No, of course not. Nothing's free, you idiots. Grow the fuck up. You're not children anymore. I didn't mind explaining photosynthesis to you when you were 12, but you're adults now, and this is an actual crisis. Got it? Safety glasses off, motherfuckers.
So they have not been able to show any correlative data between the levels we're at in CO2 concentration in the atmosphere and the actual warming of the planet. They can't show the correlation. It's actually negative from what they've projected. Al Gore said that New York was supposed to be underwater by 2013. I think the ice caps have actually gotten bigger since an inconvenient truth, and that's one clue, ladies and gentlemen, that the Earth is not getting too warm anytime soon. We still have giant glaciers on the poles of the planet. All right, that would technically be called an ice age. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now you can hear that snoring from my roommate in the background.
I'm sick. Please stop.
That's what I was getting ready to use it as a joke. I thought you were asleep. I was going to say that, that climate change non-arguments make me want to snore.
I'm sick. Please stop.
Raw Dog says Neuralink is coming out on your seatbelts. We're going for a ride. Oh Lord. Put your faith in the techno overlords. Dave says, technically it's Bill Nye's liberal bias that has created his own meltdown. Yeah. Yeah, they have an a priori assumption, all right, based on, self-hatred, which is a lot of what the environmentalism thing is like, oh, humanity is fundamentally destructive and just consuming all these resources. And it's like, yeah, that's what Bill Nye feels like, because his whole life has been about consuming resources and not adding a whole lot valuable back to the planet. You're going around spreading, the deep state message that we all need to get together and pass through this Green New Deal, or we're all gonna die. Do what the radical authoritarian socialist lady says. Perfect. Yeah, Bill Nye's an engineer who was too dumb to be promoted, so he created science movies for kids. Yeah. And if he just would have stopped at that, wouldn't have any problem with Bill Nye. I enjoyed his goofy ass when I was young, dude. I couldn't wait for Bill Nye, because school was so mind-numbingly boring. I would rather watch a dude be goofy and funny while he's telling me some scientific facts, and I got into it. All right, I was a Bill Nye fan. But then he comes on and has this Netflix show, Bill Nye Saves the Planet, where he has some chick come over and sing a song about her pussy for some goddamn reason, and promote the idea that kids as young as 3 can decide what their gender is, or decide what their gender is when they're 3 years old. No regrets. Oh, that's gonna be an easy puberty period there. All right, you just bring your, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to have cute conversations over cocktail parties with your super progressive friends. And you can look at, your so-called progressive friends, and you can look at them and be like, oh, your son is 9 and he decided he's gay. Oh, that's cute. That's kind of progressive. My son, daughter, she is 5 years old. We've already got her fake titties and ass. She's got 10 million Instagram subscribers. We're going on MTV. That's the real trans kids of Beverly Hills. We're getting a reality show. You know, it's all the narcissism of the parents. They're literally, they care for their kids so little. They're going to turn them into a pet political project based on this fake ideology that's being pumped out. You know, that everything's all subjective and it's all in your head and you can decide what reality is. There is no objective standard. All right, we decided that religion was oppressive and evil, and so we've abandoned all the principles along with the metaphysics. And we've mocked Christians into oblivion, and now we're proceeding with the subversion of everything sane. They just keep encroaching. But the whole point with the Bill Nye thing, how about you present some evidence? It's like Obama. It's all like theater. These are all like geeky theater kids. Like, oh, just because I did a mic drop, that means I'm right. Just because I light the globe on fire, oh, what the fuck? Like, that's not... These aren't arguments, all right? Barack, you are at war every day of your presidency. You got the Nobel Peace Prize. You doubled the national debt. You bent the American people over and let the big banks enter them, all right? Coercively. But it's all about, you know, it's all about just looking slick on the surface and just, you know, conning people. It's all about being able to con somebody into thinking you're right instead of actual making an argument, having any pieces of evidence to what you're saying. Trump is not helping the national debt either. You know, the man, he spends money, all right? It's one of his major faults, and not in the right places. He spends money on goddamn Israel's wall. You know, for some reason we're keeping these goddamn military bases open all around the goddamn planet. Dave Krennic says, since Ben Franklin created the Farmer's Almanac, we've been following the weather in the States. There was a 50-year drought from 1803 to 1854. So was that climate change before the Industrial Revolution? Well, they always show you the micro graph of like, oh, the last, 100 or 200 years. And then they show you that's this radical incline in the CO2 concentration in the atmosphere. And that's real. There is an increase in the CO2 concentration. But if you look at the 100 million year graph and get a little perspective there, this is the level we're at, going up right now. Back here, 50 million years ago, 100 million years ago, just straight up boy band haircut. What up, Adam? Hundreds of times higher than it was now with no reported climatological cataclysms. But it's all based on the very cute computer modeling, all right? There's a bunch of Jews in a room, they're figuring it out. Their yarmulkes are levitating, all right? And then the yarmulke comes down and the shades come down too, and you just gotta deal with it. Deal with it, Goyim. Deal with that tax. Tired of it. Tired of these criminal lie guys. Oh. We're done being lied to, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting pumped up on the fucking podcast. I'm gonna take my shirt off, dude. You guys are firing me the fuck up. What up, Bradley Murray? We're not playing music anymore on the podcast because I think they blocked the last one. But you know what? You know what they don't block the podcast for? Fuck these criminal lie guys, dude. Fuck that. I went to the gym today. I put down 4,000 calories, dude. They don't know what that's like. They don't know what it's like to defend Western civilization. They don't have the stamina. Oh, Donkey Kong, I took that little Mother's Day weekend, hiatus. Got my money in order, got some brake pads in my car. Got a few pages written on the screenplay. And now YouTube isn't loading. I was going to play the goddamn everybody's favorite fucking song on the podcast. The deep state intervention is coming early. What up, Kyle? Yeah, YouTube came after me when I played the Led Zeppelin. Was cracking Sweet Chin. I'm not taking my shirt off on the podcast, all right? I'm just, I'm getting a little heated up. Getting a little heated up talking about these goddamn criminal liars, dude. And the YouTube is not loading. I'm going to take a federal outrage piss. We're going to keep it flow mode and conversational. We don't need no goddamn music. We're real Americans. Defending Western civilization. I'm going to finish this beer. I'm going to take an outrage piss. Rate me out of 10. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I shall return. I shall crack another beer. I shall read comments. I do realize I closed the bathroom door there. It made it hard for you to hear the federal outrage chancellor's flow. It's okay, ladies and gentlemen, we shall prevail. Western civilization marches on. And the white man marches on. If you'd like to contribute to the Western Civilization Defense Fund, it's paypal.me/Outrage TV. Kyle, I'm back, baby. We're rocking, all right? We're in the bucket seats. We're in the goddamn Dodge Viper, dude. We're cruising. We're cruising on that Autobahn. Autobahn straight to deep state destruction. All right? We're hitting that turbocharger, dude. We're burning rubber, dude. We're burning the deep state dreams. Just like Bill Nye thinks he's cute, he can burn, he can burn globes and think he's making an argument. Setting a globe on fire. Not an argument. Not quite. Are you scientific in your thinking, or do you just have a white coat? Oh, what's the difference? What's the difference? And there's just like zero critical thinking on Twitter. Everything that's promoted on there is just like, oh my God, super lit. Bill Nye is fire, bro. He's trying to sell a piece of legislation that's going to bankrupt the country based on a lie. Oh, he's so savage, dude. Yeah, he's trying to savage you and your family's future. BuzzFeed went after a girl. BuzzFeed just constant horse shit. Cactus Jack had a comment up here. Cactus Jack says, the amount of people I used to like and respect and now hate since Trump got elected is insane. Well, Trump is a mirror that reflects people's ability to think critically. That's all Trump is. Because if people who are into, getting conned by Barack Obama and Bill Nye, all they're looking at are surface characteristics because they don't have any principles to evaluate anybody's behavior on a rational standard. They don't have the ability to look at somebody and be like, oh, well, they're saying he's this way, but objectively, this is what the fuck happened, and he's a hypocrite. They don't have those standards in their head to compare reality to, and so they just look at public perception and what way is the wind blowing, and this is how he makes me feel subjectively, and that's all they look at. And so those type of people, it's usually low IQ, but it can be, high IQ, just heavily propagandized, heavily indoctrinated people into an ideology. They look at Trump and all they look at is the surface characteristics. Oh my God, he stumbled on one of his words. He misspelled something on Twitter, and he just flies off the cuff and just exaggerates things. And you just look objectively, he saved us from going down a path of totalitarian construction. That's what the socialist left and what Hillary Clinton was pushing for. Pseudo-communism, pseudo-fascism, that's the road we were going down. More and more goddamn government. And these people who don't have any standards or rational philosophical way of looking at the world, or they don't know a goddamn thing about economics. It's all about, Trump, he has a bit of spittle on his lip when he's talking. I don't like him. He's not smooth like Obama. He doesn't swish his hips in the wind. He doesn't get pegged by his trans wife. He's not progressive. There you go, Archer. You on that heavy earning. $4,600 a month. That's that good chunk of change, dude. I'm trying to get my money up out here, ladies and gentlemen. That's why, the background is at the podcast is snoring. Trying to, have my own Western civilization defense compound. Right, ladies and gentlemen? I need a fat, supply of weaponry for self-defense. All right. I need some heavy artillery. I need to come on the podcast with a bandolier, and a fucking, and a shell neck and a, spent artillery shell necklace on that Renaissance Rambo. You guys know what the fuck it is. I need to have a Western civilization defense fortress. Right? You all are help funding it. You helped pay my rent last month. Much appreciated to the patriots of Outrage TV. But yeah, Trump is a mirror that reflects people's ability to process information objectively versus just going with the wind and going with their emotions and just going with the surface level bullshit and believing the media. Like, Trump exposed, how idiotic it is to believe anything that comes out of the corporate whore teleprompter reader mouths. Trump saved us from the inevitable feminism that is taking over 2020 Dem. Well, not if I have anything to do with it, dude. All right? I'm out here doing weighted dips. Feminism is not conquering that. All right? They can talk all day about a wage gap, but there's a dip gap. All right? None of these women can do dips like the outraged chancellor. What up, Alec Fox? None of these women are flexing triceps with the chancellor. Alec Fox, we know that we know the wage gap is a myth, sir. These women need to be home, They need to be starting families, You know, they need to be depriving the government of extra tax money. Archer, we're not going to get into how much I weigh, all right? We're not going to get into, you know, I'm into reason and evidence, but when it comes to my physique, when it comes to my hairline, all right, we don't get into the reason and evidence behind that. We accept it at face value out of respect for the chancellor. No, dude, I'm thickening up. I'm thickening up, dude. I might be pushing 185. Dude, do not say 150, deplorable one. Do not say that. He said 150 soaking wet. It's very disrespectful. That's we're not gonna get into estimating, you know, my weight. Archer says I'm 185 as well, but I'm 5'8". God damn it! Everybody's thicker than me, you know. I've got the shredded thing down. I've got the shredded thing, you know, we're thickening up, we're eating our calories little by little, ladies and gentlemen. We're thickening up to defend Western civilization against the deep state. I'm 6'2", pushing 6'3". All right. I got a wingspan. All right. I'm that lockdown defender on the wing. Put me on Rod Rosenstein, dude. Put me on Jim Comey. Put me on Andy McCabe. I'll lock them motherfuckers down, dude. I'm like Kawhi Leonard. I got the claw of liberty. The claws of liberty, dude. They're coming after the deep state sneaks. They can't hide. John Durham. I don't know what his wingspan is, but his mustache span is incredible. I saw that game winner, Matt 2EU. I just saw the clip of the game winner from Kawhi. That was a crazy game winner, dude. I don't think anybody's ever hit a game seven game winner to win a series. I think that was the first time it ever happened. That was fucking crazy. And to shoot it up over Joel Embiid with that fucked up angle, shooting over a 7'4" athletic fucking center. Dude. That's insane. I think Robert Ory hit a shot in the waning seconds, but I don't think it was a buzzer beater. I think there was one more possession. And are you talking about against the Kings? Because I remember that was one of the first NBA playoff series I ever watched. Was that I think it was 0-2, the Kings and the Lakers. With primetime Mike Bibby and Chris Webber and Peja Stojakovic. That was a badass team, dude, but they couldn't get past Shaq and Kobe. That was that Los Angeles Stacksville. Oh, Peja Stojakovic, he had that smooth stroke, dude. And he'd hit you with a no-look, you know, behind-the-back fucking outlet pass right on the money. He had that weirdo, crafty Euro game, dude. And he was like 6'10", too. Couldn't play defense for shit. But he could put up 30 in a quick fucking second. What up, Burgess? Vlade Divac was nice, but, you know, the main thing he's remembered for is getting dominated by Shaq. And just backed under the rim and just Mac Daddy flushed on, dude. That was he was used as Shaq's porta potty. All right, and it's unfortunate because the man was quite talented. I can't get over John Durham's mustache beard combo. That dude, I would not want him investigating me. All right? He's going to get to the bottom of it. He's going to brush away, all of the dust on the evidence that's been sitting there for years now, that this whole Russia thing was a hoax. He's going to get in there with that broom of a facial piece and just and there's going to be dust everywhere, and we're going to indict James Comey and Andy McCabe and Rod Rosenstein, dude. It's just, but the only thing in between us from doing that is a big pile of dust on all the evidence. He's that sweeper, dude. He's that deep state street sweeper. Dude. He's coming in there with that heavy sweep move. Matt, did you have some comments up here you wanted me to get to? Got to get on that. Got to get on that. That words per minute, buddy. On that keyboard. Yeah, the inevitable feminism that's taken over. It's like men are just. I don't know. There seems to be somewhat of a resurgence. Toward being masculine, being cool again. Because it goes in cycles. Trump is evidence of it. But our culture is being dominated by comic book nerds and, shrieking, resentful, unfuckable women. Those are some of the loudest voices in our culture. And it doesn't seem to be working. Bradley Murray says, I have been drunk all weekend. Man City won the Premier League. Oh, shit. You getting on that soccer celebration, dude. What up, Spencer Ball? Cheeto Blumph. That's what, John Oliver. That's John Oliver's political commentary basically boils down to Cheeto Blumph. All right, and then we cut to Bill Nye setting a globe on fire, and that's why we need to pass the Green New Deal and collapse the economy. We're the smart ones because we wear thick-rimmed black glasses. Hey, baby. We're the intellectuals because we've decided we are. We have the intellectual processing ability of a 12-year-old, so we decided we're atheists. And so therefore we're intellectually superior to anyone who wants freedom or small government. Because they must be evangelical idiots. John Oliver is a fucking quack, dude. Yeah, Burgess, we were talking about Bill Nye. Yeah, the only reason I'm talking about him is because he was trending on Twitter today. In all his ineptitude. Oh my God, I'm in a smock. Don't you feel like I'm an authoritative figure? Oh, just let me teach your children about their gender fluidity. Just please let me get in a private area with your children and we can have a discussion about the gender identity. Ooh. I can teach them all about it. Classic chicken neck pedophile. All right, Bill Nye. Don't leave your kids alone with Bill Nye. He's not teaching them about gravity. He's teaching them, about depravity. You just want your kids to learn about gravity. Here comes the depravity. Nope. Cactus Jack says, I have a chicken neck. We are not going to get into that on the podcast, dude. Do you want me to... I'm flexing my traps for audio listeners. I'm flexing my traps now, and my neck issues have been solved. And rounded shoulders, my shoulders are extruding, dude. My shoulders are they might as well be globes that Bill Nye is setting on fire. All right, Bill Nye wants to set my shoulders on fire. All right, but I'm not. All right, I'm not one of these chicken neck, gender fluid, vegetarian, soy boy, cocksuckers. What up, Rick Cheeseman? Oh no. He said me and Bill Nye have the same hairline. I will not be shamed. All right, we're not going to get into the discussion of my neck or my hairline. We do not talk about this, dude. I have arguments, and that's all that matters. All right, we're not going to be like the leftists and focus on materialism and surface horseshit. All right, I know you think it'd be cool, Cactus Jack, if I did like Obama and dropped my vape like a mic drop, and I was, swished my hips and had a tranny wife. I know you think that'd be cool, Cactus Jack. But that's not what's going on. No, I enjoy it. I enjoy a little ribbing at the physique there because, that's what I see when I look in the mirror is small shoulders. All right, but let's be positive. All right, my shoulders are a work in progress, and I'm shouldering the load for Western civilization when it comes to the arguments, dude. And that is not my nickname, Archer, is Nicole. That is not... We will not be calling the federal outrage chancellor Nicole. We will not be calling him Nikki. We will not be calling the federal outrage chancellor as, a young man back in 4th grade did. He called me Dickless Nicholas. We're not going to be calling the federal outrage chancellor Nikki, Nicole, or Dickless Nicholas because none of those things apply. All right, I'm to be referred to as the chancellor, okay? Or, Nick is fine. The consensual Genghis Khan, more than fine. Renaissance Rambo, perfectly acceptable. Theoretical John Wick, tricky Nick, Dave, that's a little bit, that's borderline. I don't want to be known as a trickster. All right, I'm not tricking anybody, and I do not get my eyebrows done, dude. This is that all natural. I woke up like this. Maybe it's Maybelline. No, it's not, dude. The chancellor woke up like this. Burgess says Dickless Nicholas is pretty funny. Yeah, I got to admit, I didn't have a comeback for it. And everybody laughed in 4th grade. I wasn't, I wasn't confident enough as a man to just pull my dick out and prove everybody wrong. So, I had to go home. I had to reevaluate, I had to come back to the pickup football field and prove that I had a dick the next day. All right, but those are the trials and tribulations of a young man, learning how to deal with some shit talking. Right? Thinking your skin up. Thinking your dick up. Cactus Jack, I do not have stick arms, dude. I'm very, I'm impressing, everybody out here. I'm scaring people at the gym. I'm getting in there. I'm being that lunk. I'm setting the lunk alarm off at Planet Fitness, dude. I'm getting in there. I'm grunting, I'm growling. I'm throwing the weights around. I'm an intimidator when it comes right down to it. What up, Skeezer? Coming in hot, saying I have chicken legs. Dude, there's nothing chicken-like about my legs. All right? I got teardrop quads. All right? And my calves could carve a diamond, if we're being honest. But I'm not going to go off showing my legs on the podcast. That's not what this is about, dude. It's about my shoulders, which I admit, could use some work. But we're working on it. One pizza at a time. I got bigger shoulders than Andrew McCabe, dude. I got bigger shoulders than James Comey, and he's like 7 feet tall. I would kick the shit out of James Comey. The deltoids of a tranny. Some of these trannies, they got impressive delts out here. That's how you usually can spot them from the car. You're driving down the Walk of Fame out here, and it's less of a Walk of Fame and more of, shame in Western civilization, because it's just a bunch of, heavily shouldered individuals with wigs for some reason, and they look very confused. They look like they're out here hunting some amphetamines. Yeah, I do have to press a button on the vape, Donkey Kong. The button there. You can see it's been worn in heavily. The chest of a bird. How dare you, Cactus Jack? Don't be mad that I'm so shredded. And then I'm slowly accumulating muscle mass, dude. I'm getting my calories down. I'm going to drink a milkshake after the podcast. If I have a bird chest, I'm flapping. All right? I'm out here flapping, dude. What do you got against flapping? Are you against bald eagles? How dare you be against bald eagles? Dave Kranick says, eat some bear. You are what you eat. There you go, dude. Well, how about you ship me some? Ship me some of that, that dry ice bear meat, dude. I'll dig down on the I'll eat a bear steak on the podcast. I'm not attached to, Baloo and Disney movies. I'm not attached to the Three Little Bears. The Bernstein Bears. I'm not attached to it, dude. I'm actually, if there's one NFL team I root for, it's the Chicago Bears. Because they're on that defense. All right? I'm about holding down Western civilization with a good goddamn defense. Defense wins championships. My email is nickjordan84@gmail.com. Khalil Mack is overrated. How dare you? He's a fucking beast. We're cracking another beer, ladies and gentlemen. PayPal.me/Outrage TV if you want to help the Chancellor pay his rent. If you want to help him buy natty lights. I'm not even talking about the modern Chicago Bears team. They're struggling. They're trying to put together something, dude. I'm talking about the historical defense. All right? Oh. Bill Barr, he's running that 46, dude. He's bringing that blitz heavy. Coming at you from all angles. It's going to be a deep state massacre. Yeah, nickjordan84@gmail.com. There you go, Dave Kranick. That's me, baby. Dude. John Durham, the United States Attorney for the District of Connecticut. He's on that goddamn street sweep beard. He is sweeping the dust off the deep state evidence, dude. We're going after him. Ooh, get in there. We're drawing first blood like Rambo, baby. Drawing that first political blood. Trump is picking a fight with China. Bad idea. China's always going to cook to the U.S., dude. They can try to flex like they're, but they want to be us. All right? Fundamentally, when it comes down to it, they want to be us. Ooh, they got a new Rambo coming soon. I haven't disclosed it on the podcast yet, but I'm actually starring in the new Rambo. Surprise! And the whole movie is going to be, it's called Renaissance Rambo. And it's going to be about me, wearing, very heavily, feathered, Enlightenment outfits and long extravagant wigs. And I'm going to be painting Baroque art, of Muhammad in different positions. It's going to be Muhammad, sitting on a butt plug. It's going to be just beautiful, intricate, just Baroque pictures of Muhammad, marrying a 6-year-old girl. It's going to be Muhammad getting driven around by a woman. It's going to be Muhammad getting thrown off a building by gay people, And it's all going to be very, very thrilling. All right, that's that Rambo for the new generation. That's that Renaissance Rambo, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting after it. But yeah, the headline on Drudge Report: China strikes back. Dump treasuries. Farmers feel pain. Apple in crosshairs. Dow down 617. Ooh. Yeah, there's this constant, what did they strike back with? They put tariffs on our exports. China retaliates on tariffs. Stock markets go into a slide. Sending Wall Street into a slide, China announced higher tariffs Monday on $60 billion worth of American goods in retaliation for President Donald Trump's latest penalties on Chinese products. Duties of 5% to 25% will take effect on June 1st on about 5,200 American products, including batteries, spinach, and coffee. The China's finance ministry said. Oh. So, Archer says, China has many citizens but very few soldiers. The United States is an army of 40 million armed citizens. Yeah, it's just they're not leaders, all right, on the world stage. They kind of, their only reason they're competing is because they've taken the U.S. capitalist model and ran with it to a certain extent, but ultimately they're going to be weighed down by the collectivist control at the top of their government, because they're run essentially by a communist dictator. And so I think we would do best to, if China wants to, fuck around with us, I think we just do way less business with China. Buy American, Florida Stacker says. China flooded the market with fentanyl. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Trying to push the goddamn opiates. The problem is that, they have such low overhead for the companies to move over there. Cactus Jack says, once in a blue moon, I'll get this random ecstatic feeling of I can't believe Trump won, just like during election night. Oh yeah, it's that goddamn political miracle, dude. It was like the country got saved in one fell swoop. For the time being, yeah. Yeah, that is snoring in the background. Front hole enthusiast. That's the sound of not being able to afford your own apartment completely. Um, we're just thankful for our roof out here in Hollywood, and I thank the Outrage crew for donating to my roof preservation fund, aka my rent. Um, but yeah, Trump, he just bought us time. I think is what it was. I mean, he saved us from the impending, just riding straight, riding the covered wagon just straight off of the cliff. He brought us back from that, and it's been a great deal of goddamn exposing in the media. And Trump has offered some pushback to the political correct horseshit and exposed the media for the lying, corrupt pieces of trash that they are. And so those are two things that definitely needed to happen, but that was just the first step. Now that he's got past the Russia thing, he's provided some solid wins mostly in the cultural war, mostly in the ideological war, like Cactus Jack was talking about. He polarizes people and he lets you know which one of your friends can actually think. That's why, by the way, I got the camera back from Igor. All right, so we got some camera equipment. We're getting ready to get out there on the streets. All right, in Hollywood on this Walk of Fame, dude. We're gonna have some fun. But just asking people what they think about Donald Trump reveals basically their entire worldview for how they look at how they look at the world. It reveals whether or not they're actually thinking for themselves, whether or not they actually question what's parroted in the media, whether or not they can see that that's funded by big multinational corporations and big banks and big pharma that's trying to depress you and sell you antidepressants and just get you in that clickbait wormhole fucking dopamine-a-thon of like, oh my god, it's outrage culture. Ugh. Get you all worked up and shit. Get you all resentful and self-hating, and so you just lose any semblance of in-group preference or cultural continuity. And you just kind of fade into the ether and don't even really exist fundamentally because you don't have any standards or principles for how you live your life. It's just, well, whatever Beyonce says is cool. Whatever Bill Nye does, I mean, that's funny. Oh, right. Let's just sell out the entire culture based on what, Bill Nye and Obama tell us. Because they're cute. But we got the camera, so I'm going to go out there and let me know some suggestions for how we do the street interviews. But my idea is that my first idea is I'm basically going to go out and ask people what they think of Donald Trump. And I'm going to play the role of the leftist. I'm going to play the role of the, self-hating, vegetarian, beta, leftist who hates Trump with full, full Trump derangement syndrome. And I wonder if I'll be able to find any rational people out here on the Walk of Fame. Oh yeah, I've seen the Mark Dice videos, Cactus Jack. Yeah, that's where I got the idea of it, because he goes up and he's just talking about how we need to take all the guns away and just have just the government with guns, and he does it really well. But I don't want to copy Mark Dice's style, but I think it's a really good way to go into it, to pretend to be on the leftist side and satirize it the whole time. Because if I go in there just being me and interviewing people on the street, I don't know, it could go really well. I don't know. I'm looking for the funniest angle with it. Do a collab with, with Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett has not transitioned. All right, he's still on the edge. All right, he's not quite sure. But that motherfucker's out. He's busy out here, dude. He's getting booked to do stand up, Mister. You know, he has a. God bless Kevin Bennett. I hope he does very well with his stand up career. I just don't quite get it. He goes on stage with, you know, an accordion. I thought you were making fun of Kevin Bennett by calling him Caitlyn. Or are you talking about a person named who's actually named Caitlyn Bennett? Oh, she works with Alex Jones. Okay. I don't know who the hell that is. I'm working with myself. But yeah, we're gonna figure out some angles to come on here and fuck with people. Oh, it's gonna be fun. All right, one more outrage piss, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna come back and get into some headlines, get into some comments. Be right back. Whoever would have thought that Donald goddamn Trump would be the litmus test for whether or not you could think? It's so fun, dude. It's so fun just to ask people what they think about Donald Trump. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. That's how you sift, you know, the feminist, non-thinking, you know, soyed out, gelatinous brains from the people who are actually into defending Western civilization. YouTube Obama supporter has an awakening. That's my story, dude. Archer says, Nick, when you get a chance, YouTube Obama supporter has an awakening. That's my story, sir. Is that going to redirect back to this live stream link? I was an Obama supporter in 2008. Was crack-a-lackin', Alan James. It says happens with the surgery. They have to remove some of your bladder to make room for an extra big front hole like Nick got. Well, no. It's just, you know, my javelin, you know, it requires extra room. All right, my jousting javelin. All right, it requires extra room for thrusting power. I had a little hiatus over that Mother's Day weekend there. You know, we got our money together. We got some brake pads on the hatchback. You know, we got some pages in the screenplay written. It's coming together nicely. Oh, yes. The satirical Dr. Strangelove-esque piece that is tentatively titled The Swamp. All right. Nice little satire piece. I don't think, you know, I don't know if anybody in Hollywood is going to be interested in exposing, the criminal elements of the government there, but we shall see. All right? It's hardcore, in your face truth. Nope, I didn't see my mom's Ellen James. Had a nice little phone conversation. All right, like some of her Facebook posts, but we're both heavily indebted. All right, they were saving up money for their pool liner. They got a nice little above ground pool there in Oklahoma, that cool off mode. And then they had a plumbing problem that cost goddamn $800, and then their hot water heater, started leaking. So the family is in scrounging mode, collecting their shekels. I'm out here. I just got my brakes not to stop squeaking. Delivering to all the Beverly Hills faithful. All right. We're squeaking by. Our roof is still here. I've still got my roof. Go out with heaven and have her collect reparations for slavery. That'd be fun. Yeah, I think I'm going to try both. I think I'm going to try both angles. I think I'm going to fucking put a MAGA hat on. Oh, what up, clean talking? I was just talking about how I got that camera rig, dude. I got that fucking camera set up, from my director of the sketches here on the channel. He hooked me back up with that camera, so we got the camera piece. We got a microphone, dude. We're getting ready to hit the streets and talk some shit, dude. And make people look goofy. Make people look goofy on the goddamn streets out here, man. So one of them, I'm going to put a MAGA hat on and be full in that character. I could do three things. I could be full, like, Make America Great Again asshole character. I could be full, low energy leftist, nihilistic idiot. And then I could just be me for some of the interviews. So we'll try all three angles and see which one works out the best. Cactus Check says, clean talking teach Nick how to lift. That's not what's happening, dude. If anybody's teaching me anything, I'm going to teach clean talking some goddamn lifting form. All right? We can both figure it out, dude. There's a Google search. We're getting thick on the podcast, dude. Come on. Gotta defend Western civilization. I'm getting that curl bar. I'm gripping it. You know what? You asked for it, dude. I didn't want to have to do this. But when you're defending Western civilization, all right, you need some grip. You need some goddamn grip strength in that motherfucker, dude. All right. You get in there. You grip the fucking bar. You make it happen. And explosions go off in the background, dude. When I'm at the gym. Explosions go off. All right? Women's panties drop when I do my dips. Yes, I'm wearing lifting gloves, Cactus Jack. All right? And my fingers are exposed because I'm going through the documents defending Western civilization, but I'm also lifting heavy. I'm pushing it. You know how we push it, dude. We're going after that empire. I'm getting a goddamn compound. You guys know what's up with the Outrage commune, dude. We push shit to the limit around here, man. And goddamn, YouTube is not working for my music drops tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is so embarrassing. I'm wearing weightlifting gloves on the podcast, and I can't even get my goddamn YouTube videos to load. It's okay. We're not going to have music drops on the podcast anymore because YouTube doesn't approve. They don't approve. Oh. You can't have your music drops, plebeian. We will block your videos. And I didn't give a fuck originally because all that happened was the video got demonetized, and I'm not on that deep state sneak team. All right? I depend on the Outrage crew, and the donations from the real patriots out there. God damn it. But these people think that I'm depending on, advertisements for their dick pills. I'm not selling your dick pills. I'm not selling your antidepressants, dude. There's no ads. And so my YouTube is not even loading on my goddamn laptop, and that's fine. Because we're fucking getting thicker. We're getting thicker on the... I'm pushing, dude. I'm pushing like, I'm probably 183. All right, once I drink this milkshake, I might be 185. Those are not Jewish numbers there, Cactus Jack. It's all very, it's verified, dude. Milkshake and beer. Clean talking, I lifted earlier. All right, I got to take these off because they fucking stink. I lifted earlier. I ate the whole Little Caesars pizza. I'm getting my calories in. I had the protein bars, dude. And I'm getting ready to put down the protein powder with the ice cream, dude. I mix it up in that goddamn, in that shaker. And that's not what the music breaks were before, Alan James. They were not Richard Simmons breaks. And I'm not Richard Simmons. That's not what this is, dude. All right, this is like the Predator movie. All right, there's nothing. We're all oiled up. All right, we're super jacked. We're out here in the jungle. We're hunting the predatory ideas. All right, and there's not a woman around to be found, but there's nothing gay about it. All right, dude, we're just super muscled up and super oiled up, and we're out here, we got our guns, and we got our firearms.
I'm here too.
And we're hunting the predatory ideas. And there ain't no slack-jawed faggots anywhere near us. They're just gonna weigh the battalion down if we have these slack-jawed faggots here prancing around thinking they can run for president. Jesse the Body does not support butt pumping Pete. That's not what a politician does. A politician gets in his singlet, gets in his boots, he oils up, and he does curls in the mirror. We don't have any time for the slack-jawed faggots around here, dude. If you're gay, you can come on the team. You can defend Western civilization, all right? But you got to call out the faggots. I like gay people who call out the faggots, dude. If you can't do that, you're probably into Bill Nye. All right, you're probably into that subversion. And we're not down with it.
What in the world are you doing?
Archer says the right is about freedom, liberty, and justice for all. That used to be the left's deal, but now the left is the right, and the right is the left. Well, I mean, it's these political designations of left and right. I mean, they've become so meaningless. It's about principles. What do you believe in? If it's actual freedom, if it's actual getting the government smaller, you know, then I guess you could consider yourself on the right. But then there's all this propaganda surrounding the right. Like, Archer says, so those who value their values more than their team transition to the right. Oh, I see what you're saying. There you go. There you go. Because the ideals actually make sense on the right, and they're not based on, you know, subjective emotionality, you know, over feminine, just spend all the Uncle Sam's money at the mall bullshit. You know, this sentimental, veganistic, all right, non-iron pumping ideologies. It all comes from a generation of men raised by women. It comes from the single mother state. It comes from people throwing their kids into public school and daycare, and all it is a bunch of psycho women who couldn't achieve anything intellectually, so they became goddamn, you know, teachers. Oh, we're crafting the next generation, or we're going to propagandize you with Common Core.
Untrue.
Dave wants to ask you if you're having flashbacks from Nigeria.
My mom's Ethiopian, fuck off, and you're kind of being a prick.
They're just fucking with
I'm
you.
sick. And you're such a senseless prick. Oh my god.
Oh no. We have all offended heaven.
No, you're not offending me, you're just you.
Florida Stacker says you should see my new Sneaky Pete holster. Looks like a little first aid kit for a diabetic holding a little 9mm. Well, that's that Second Amendment sneakery. All right. He's defending his property, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly from rodents with a 9mm. Another beer. Blood diamonds. All right. If anybody knows about Africa, it's Dave Kranick. All right. He's had them child soldiers gunning for his balls. And that's that hardcore, you know, unfortunate military industrial complex reality. Got to bring the goddamn troops home, dude. Have them build the wall. Cactus Jack says a red pilled a girl at the bar this weekend. Great feeling, converted our white women back to the right. Well, there you go, dude. What was the clincher argument there? That there are only two genders? It just takes a minor fraction of rationality.
I think he said he just roofied her. That's disgusting.
No, he red pilled her. He didn't roofie her.
I don't know, we just so fucking weird.
He roofied her with the truth. Cactus Check says she said my kids shouldn't have to dodge bullets at schools. Yeah, the kids shouldn't have to dodge bullets at schools. All right, so we should stop prescribing SSRIs to these unstable kids and look into their destructive family situations. I don't know how you do that. It's just stop forcing them to go to public school. That's the thing. Cactus Check says, "Good guy with a gun beats a bad guy with a gun." Yeah, you need to have security guards on on patrol. But that's the cure rather than the prevention. The prevention is the bigger thing. Don't force kids to go to school. Don't force kids to go to public school. All right, because they go into these public schools with all these random grab bag of kids that may or may not have fucked up parents that just fuck you and just destructive, crazy households, and they're all just jumbled up in one big grab bag in a public school situation, and you just got to go to the public school and just try not to get bullied and try to fit in and try to be, I mean, that's going to happen in any social circle, but when you force people to go to this institution where their minds are numb, and there's this hierarchy of kids, and they're all being forced into one situation, and so it's this culture of coercion and fuck you, deal with it. Oh, you don't want to go to school? Fuck you, deal with it. And it's like all it's doing is trying to prime you to be a good little worker drone and, comply with your orders. All right? It doesn't teach you how to be, it doesn't teach you how to be entrepreneur and an entrepreneur, a business, start a business, actually have financial independence or work toward having something of your own. No, it's just you fit into the gear profile for the system, and you're forcing these kids into this unnatural situation where they have to swallow this propaganda that means nothing to them. You don't teach them anything fundamentally philosophical, because then they might say, why are my parents forced to fund this? You don't want to teach them anything fundamentally about philosophy or any incentives. What up, home electrician? They need to teach finance by 9th grade. Yeah, it's nothing about assets or liabilities or investments or anything that's going to actually benefit you. You're learning the Pythagorean theorem. Oh boy. And you're reading the Canterbury Tales. Oh man. Isn't it great? And so the main goal, in public school just becomes to be the most popular, be the cool kid, be on the sports team, so you can get some semblance of friendship from people and, some action from the ladies. That's all it comes down to. And then there's so many dispossessed kids in that system that can't compete in the sexual market value competition. And so they're the nerds, and so they get super resentful because they're pent up with these other kids that, they create these cliques, and then the one clique bullies the other clique, and they can't get away from the shit. If they could get away from it and go focus on something that may be productive for society, then they wouldn't have this building up resentment. And then it's like, oh, the problem was with them. If they're not, adjusted well to the school environment, if they're not, if they're not in this goddamn, hierarchical system of dominance, if they're not participating in that, well, then they're not useful in that system. And so instead they could be home teaching themselves something useful that they could be learning to code. All right, they could be learning something goddamn useful. They could be learning piano, something, or they could just play their video games and not be forced to interact with these kids who are constantly bullying them. Because it's like, when the kids run amok, it's like a goddamn prison yard. But there's a certain element of that that's good for a developing kid, to have those social interactions and to fail socially and be like, oh, this is what I can't do. It's good. I talked about it earlier. I got called Dickless Nicholas on the pickup football field, dude. It was helpful. All right, because I realized I didn't have a goddamn comeback. So I had to come back the next day and prove I had a dick on the football field, ladies and gentlemen. Some people it's going to inspire. Some people are going to build up resentment, and it's going to build and build and build. And then they're going to get prescribed SSRIs because, oh my God, they're the problem. It couldn't be the environment. It couldn't be the Common Core chancellor, teachers there, the harpy women that sit up on their perch like fucking authoritarian dictators and ask me to go to the bathroom. Timmy, you're bad. They either got to put up with that, or they got to have, some kind of homeschool situation, which I think is the best option. You got to get with a woman who's down to homeschool them children, all right? Because you can't put them into that fucking weirdo, fucked up system where any like deviation from the Common Core, from the natural, mind-numbing system is viewed as irrational, is viewed as destructive, is viewed as, wrong. And so it has to be corrected with a pill. Ooh, I have to give little Timmy a pill and he's going to be just fine. Timmy's not fine. Timmy's pissed off. Yeah, humble electrician. I mean, there's an element of once you realize that the school system is bullshit and you're kind of high IQ, then school can become fun, because then you just take it for what it is. You don't put too much stock into it. You don't buy into everything that your teachers say. You just go to school and you hang out with your friends and you try to get laid and you play sports, and then it's pretty fun. And so that's why people put up with the schooling system, is because they associate their schooling years with the fun times they had with their friends and getting laid and playing sports with their friends, and like, that's the fun times. But you could have that irregardless of the fucking, irregardless isn't a word, regardless of whether or not you got the Common Core, agenda crammed down your throat or not. You don't need, you can have those same friends. You can just meet them after school. If you're a homeschool kid, you're not going to be this insulated weirdo. You just might have some actual values instilled in you that will lead you down a good path earlier than other kids. Dave Kranick says, this is a tactical analysis of a possible school shooting strategy. Dave Kranick says, tactically, I would take out the security guards first, then go after the soft targets. If all the teachers in school are armed, then there are more hard targets. The odds are with the teachers. I don't know how I feel about arming teachers. If you got... good luck taking out the security guards. They're security guards, dude. They got guns on their hip. They know how to use them. I think if you have a couple of them, at least one of them is going to be alert, and you station them on opposite sides and they check in with each other routinely. And so if something's going wrong, one of them gets taken out, the other one's going to know pretty quick and he's going to go and intervene. So I think there's a way to work that system out to where, you could have some retired cops or military handle that security at the schools, dude. And it's like it's a fucking teenage kid. Like, how tactical are they going to be with the shit? Are they going to be a Splinter Cell? I don't think so. The odds are against it. Just the deterrent of having security guards there would probably be enough to get the idea out of their head. But all it takes is to not have it be a straight up gun-free zone, to where it's just like open season, and because that's one of the things that would lead them to want to even try it, is because there's a possibility of escape, or there's less of a retaliatory chance. But if there's guards there, dude, as long as they're not falling asleep, eating donuts, as long as they're not Ralph Wiggum from the Simpsons, dude, it should be fine. Cactus Jack says, bring home the troops, pay them to build the wall, and protect schools. There you go, dude. That's that Western civilization defense strategy. That would be an actual Department of Defense. Instead, we have the Department of, deep state sneak imperialism and military-industrial complex horseshit. While we got trannies shooting off, at the schools. Arm all the lunch ladies. Give all the lunch ladies live grenades. All right? If the students complain about the mashed potatoes, you might catch a hot one, dude, on your plate. Every school needs a groundskeeper, O'Ellie. He's gonna tear his fucking shirt off and defend Western civilization. You need that hairy chest Scottish janitor. All right? If you're not gonna have firearms, at least have guns, dude. Groundskeeper, O'Ellie. It's gonna fuck up a school, sure. Dave Krennic says, just saying, internally suppressed 308 AR-10 with a 5-man team could hold a school for a long time and create a lot of havoc. Well, yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, our high school kids really thinking that, really thinking that strategic. I mean, I think you just got to have the minimum amount of resistance. All right? You got a couple of, retired police or military on the scene, and you handle your goddamn business. All right, I'm closing my browser out here because the YouTube is acting real gay, ladies and gentlemen. The YouTube is not cooperating with my demands, and so we shall restart. Krennic says, but trained people respect firearms. With education, they would lessen the mass shootings. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Leave it up to them trained killers. All right, even if they got the rudimentary, police training. But I think that would be good, especially for the retired veterans, because that's why a lot of them spiral into depression. I think is because they're so tactical and mission and purpose oriented. They get out of the service, and then what's their mission? They're just trying to heal up. They're trying to get good night's sleep. They're trying to just cope with what they've experienced. But before that, they were able to deal with the psychological effects of being in a situation like that, because they were driven. They were driven with an objective. They had a purpose to achieve. And they felt useful to their country, and to their battalion. But when they get out, it's kind of like pro athletes. It's the same thing. Once you're in that rigorous, purpose-driven, pedal to the metal, like, let's get this shit done mentality. And then, pro athletes, they retire, or military people, even to a further extent, military people, because it's actual, sports are just simulated warfare. Military people, the shit is for real. It's life and death. And so, they fucking, Archer's signing off. Good night, buddy. Good night, man. Don't come on Archer's property. He's defending it. All right? Even when he's asleep, he's got one eye open for Western civilization. But they're so purpose driven that when they get out of it, they're like, "Oh, what's my that could be the purpose. Defend the kids of Western civilization, the future generations." All right? Good luck, school shooters, if you got Dave Krennic, locked and loaded on the premises. He's handled his business with children with guns before, dude. He's not going to hesitate to take out a problem. Cactus Jack says leftists are fine with ghetto blacks having guns, but not us. Yeah, because it perpetuates the, the cops are racist myth. And as long as there's violence in the black community, there will be a constant problem for the left to, moralize about. Oh my God, we need to step in and create more policies in order to fix these communities. And it's more justification for government control, But white people, on average, having guns and just defending their property, well, that's no benefit to the ruling class. They need their hypocritical separation, dude. They need to have their own, security forces, but they don't want you to be able to defend yourself. The CIA drops off weapons in Chicago to keep down the black population. I wouldn't be surprised, dude. That's that problem, reaction, solution. All right? The government has no problems, all right, creating, manufacturing disasters in order to justify their own existence. They're so just useless. They got to sit around and come up with ideas to justify their existence to the public. How can we scheme today and get the people to trust us more? Ugh. I don't know what the fuck is happening with my YouTube, but they really do not want me to play the Real American song, dude. It's a shadow banning, clear shadow banning of the Real American Patriots, ladies and gentlemen. And it's goddamn reprehensible. All I see is a loading bar on the goddamn YouTube. They don't want me to save Western civilization. Yes, YouTube in parentheses. Alan James says, even if it was true, the blacks don't have to shoot each other. Oh well. Yeah. It's it's that welfare state criminality, dude. It's that lack of father figure, and it's the thugged out hip hop culture. It's not good. And everybody says that, poverty creates crime. And that's not necessarily true. It's not, I mean, you can look at it just as easily from the other end of the spectrum that criminality creates poverty. All right, because when you have when you have a community of people that's prone to crime, then you're not going to be as prone to starting a business in that area. You're going to need that thick, bulletproof glass. All right, you're going to need to take precautions. And that's that overhead for a business, dude. You're going to have that expectation of getting stuck the fuck up. And it's the perpetuation that's created by the incentives at the root of it. The welfare state creates these single mother households that are absentee fathers. The kids don't have a role model. You know, they get out, they grow up way too quick. They watch Boys in the Hood. They get out and they start slanging drugs on the street. They get in with a gang to try to, because that's what masculinity is presented to them as. You know. And then that's how they prove their manhood, is being the most ruthless and violent. Dave Kranick says, my neighbor came over the other day when I was planking with one of my suppressed 45 ACP 1911s. I was testing a new suppressor. He is very anti-gun. I let him shoot off 50 rounds and he wants to come back. Oh, you got him hooked. You got him hooked. Get a little more water here, ladies and gentlemen. I have not got into my gun enthusiast mode yet, but if the Outrage crew contribute to the gun fund, paypal.me/Outrage TV, I shall get some firearms to defend my domicile. Ladies and gentlemen, you must be prepared. One more outrage piss. I may do one more beer, ladies and gentlemen. Shall return. Be right back. One more beer we shall do. Burgess says if we talk about guns, the stream will start to freeze. We cannot operate under that fear. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, why can the leftists not understand the gun control argument? Is it just the fear of guns? Because they understand the marijuana prohibition argument very clearly. All right. Well, if you outlaw marijuana on a federal basis, I mean, you're just going to drive it underground, and it's just going to be a black market, and you're just going to empower the drug cartels. Well, if you outlaw guns, you're just going to drive it underground. You're just going to empower the gun-running cartels. Gun control is cattle control. There you go, AJ. Control the tax cattle. It's a problem if the cattle have guns now. Guns are like tattoos. You can't just get one. Oh, dude. Well, I would want that 12 gauge, that serious, homestead defense weapon. And then I would want, a little pistol. Just for that, that tactical scenario. For that time when I have to, get into my John Wick sensibilities, dude. When the deep state comes after a motherfucker. You gotta check them fucking corners, dude. You gotta get up against that fucking wall and check on the, check around the corner. And then if he sees you, pull back, and then you fake high and you go low and you do that fucking barrel roll across the hallway. Trust me, dude, I'm a 10th level prestige in Call of Duty 4. All right, you could listen to guys like Dave Kranick who've had actual, field experience, or you could listen to me, the theoretical John Wick. The choice is up to you. All right, we're trying to get that, that bonus. We're trying to get the kill streak bonus, dude. We're killing the bad ideas here at Outrage TV. Socialism, sorry, it's not gonna work. Joe Biden, sorry, you can't sniff my neck. No, dude. You're a deep state salesman for neck sniffing. We're not buying. Canada is looking to criminalize Christianity, says AJ. I don't know. Canada might be, they're on that ideological contagion up there, dude. I don't know what's going on up north. You know, they're all supposed to be really friendly, but they're getting super heavy into, you know, fake leftist, socialistic nonsense. I don't want that bleeding over into my country, dude. But it seems like we're going the opposite way. You know, they're going the Trudeau route, we went the Trump route.
That's one person versus what you just so you have to actually see and met people. So what you're talking about. You're able to listen to one person. Okay. Wow.
Alan James says, Burgess, that's like those Dems who are making a law against lynching black people. What did Burgess say? Burgess said, hey, why not make laws against murder? Yeah, why don't we prohibit murder?
We do.
Heaven is,
Because you're shouting and you're being so rude and you're just drunk.
Heaven is making, you know, she's sleepwalking.
You're shouting.
She's sleepwalking counter arguments.
I'm sleeping and you're shouting. I'm sick, please.
I'm defending Western civilization.
You're being obnoxious and drunk and I'm trying to sleep.
Well, maybe you're being obnoxious, snoring on the Western Civilization
I'm
Defense
sick, I'm trying to
podcast.
sleep. I'm sick. My sinuses are stuffed up. Are you kidding me? You're such a prick. Stop. How dare you make fun of being sick? Oh my god, you're just unbelievable.
Oh yeah, the anti-lynching bill was so gratuitous, dude. Cory Booker and Kamala Harris. Oh my God. Oh boy, the big pressing problem in America in 2019. We need to outlaw this damn lynching. We've got just KKK running all over the streets. We've got a KKK Grand Wizard in the White House. Oh my God. Of course, we've got to get rid of this lynching. That's what the left is into, dude. Manufacturing crises. All right? And then calling the border situation a manufactured crisis. There was actually a dude outside the fourth wall who said that talking point to me. Oh, the border is just a manufactured crisis. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, so it isn't troubling to you whatsoever that a supposedly sovereign nation cannot control its own borders, but we have 700 plus military bases across the planet. We put, $800 billion a year into the Department of Defense, and we seem to be defending Israel, We're defending the deep state criminals. All right, they're defending themselves. Oh, what would John Wayne do? Well, partner, I don't know what John Wayne would do. He would probably eat a steak and make a movie. KKK are out here running wild, dude. Oh my God. It's the big threat to Western civilization. It's not the communist subversion. It's not the communists teaching our children in the universities. Oh boy. It's the white hooded people that don't exist. Well, that's the thing, AJ. We must make racism illegal to stop racism. All right? That's the hate speech that they're trying to push. All right? We've got to get the government to legislate hate speech away, because that will That will prevent it. Laws don't prevent people from doing shit. They just empower the government to enforce them and enforce their control upon you. Burgess says, I've been surrounded by black people my entire life and they have shown me nothing but respect. So I don't get the racist stuff. Why am I not dead? Well, you probably got a little bit of soul, brother, deep down in you. You know? And they feel it. They feel the realness. All right, Dave Kranick. He's got court tomorrow, probably clearing up that, you know, tying up them loose ends on that crazy divorce situation there. Good luck with that, brother. Yeah, Cory Booker is a total joke. Total race baiting joke. I can't believe that, you know, they just feed on people that don't pay attention to the news cycle and to what's actually happening in society. They just feed on the ignorance. And that's how the government survives. It feeds on the ignorance. It's like It the Clown. Like It the Clown feeds on children's fear. The government feeds on the populace's ignorance. Just a feeding frenzy, dude. And they continually pump out ignorant people through the school system. That's, you guessed it, funded by the government. The fact that you know, that's the one thing that it's easy as fuck to wake up to. That how can your schooling be in any way objective when it's funded by the government that forcibly extracts your tax money? Oh, we're just educating for the betterment of your society and your edification here. Are you? You didn't teach me anything about economics. You didn't teach me anything about the Federal Reserve. It's about creating NPC drones, ladies and gentlemen, that will fold and refuse to defend Western civilization. Burgess says, I feel like a fight is about to happen. Well, the ideas are really polarized in the country right now, but it's not. I don't think it's going to lead to any conflict. Like I was listening to Stefan Molyneux today, and he's like, "Oh, civil war is like imminent if we don't." And it's like, I don't think so. I don't think so because the left doesn't want to debate and they don't want to fight. They just want to bicker and complain, you know, like they're married to Larry David. That's what the left is all about, you know. Oh my God, Harold, I can't believe you're trying to lower the taxes. Don't you just hate everybody? And Harold's like, no, I don't. I'm just trying my best. And it's Jewish bickering back and forth, dude. It's not gonna boil over into any kind of, you know, legitimate violent back and forth because the left doesn't want it, dude. The people who support Trump are the majority of cops, the majority of military, pretty much all the bikers, and pretty much all the gun owners. Good luck. They don't want any piece of that, dude. The tradesmen, the people with actual skills. Oh, you were talking to Raw Dog? Raw Dog says Burgess supports deadbeat dads. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's a lot of them out there, dude. There's a lot of that, no condom wearing. That whoopsie doopsie pregnancy. And Antifa's out there protecting their single mom, worshiping their single moms. They have to protect them. They have to get them their state resources. We have to fleece the pockets of the majority taxpayer population. And they just have to be fleeced. My mama deserves that. Money-hungry welfare queens, of course. And then they send the little child soldiers out there to pretend like they're achieving something by wearing, by flying communist flags and saying they're fighting fascism. Their kids might as well have, invisible friends. We're out here fighting my invisible friends. It's all this live action role play, comic book horse shit because they all watch the Avengers, and there's no real heroism in their life. They don't have any principles or purpose or mission in their life that's based on truth. And so it has to be fabricated based on this media narrative that they're handed down. Then, oh my God, fascism is taking over. We're under a Nazi regime. And so they get out there and be like, I'm going to be a communist. It's like just resentful, like mammalian, just lizard brain, just bleh. It's not based on anything philosophical. And so it's that live action role play, dude. They think they're Thor, They're out there thinking they're amazing, they're that amazing Spider-Man. All right? They're thinking they're shooting web shooters, but really they're just throwing piss balloons. All right? And smacking people with bike locks. And it's pathetic. Because it's a whole generation of men raised by women in video games. Out there getting fake achievements. Oh, my achievements. Oh, I got a retweet. I leveled up. It's not an achievement, dude. You're faking life achievements. How about you get out there on the streets and actually talk to a woman? Get her number. Have an achievement. Take a risk for your pleasure. You're not taking a risk, going and trying to start bullshit live action role play, fights with people who are just trying to talk about free market capitalism and stand in a public square. Oh my God. Antifa has showed up. They're here to defend their single mothers. Who the hell is Hassan Piker? I don't even get the reference, ladies and gentlemen. I'm being roasted in the chat for my similarity to a man I don't even know. Oh, Chink's nephew, Chink Yuga. What is he, Cenk Uygur is just a resentful leftist weirdo. How am I resembling that? Nothing on this podcast resembles Cenk Uygur, ladies and gentlemen. We're shredded, all right? We're slowly amassing muscle mass. You know, we're getting on. We're learning theoretical, moves. We're getting tactical, all right? We're that new age John Wayne, dude. And we're not controlled opposition. I'm getting into the Jewish conspiracy, and I'm subverting the subverters. All right, I'm getting in there. I'm telling my stories to Hollywood. They're reading. They're intrigued. We shall see. All right, but I'm working my way into the Jewish conspiracy. I'm gonna get them on board the freedom cause, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get my shoulders so big that they can't deny it. All right? Once your shoulders are undeniable, you will not be denied. John Weinstein. John Weinsteinberg. I'm going to subvert the Jews, dude. I'm going to bring them on board the dragon energy. Because they can't resist it. They're just like women. They're in the presence of the dragon energy and they just melt in your hand. All right? When you're gone, they try to sneak and they try to scheme and they try to, organize and create the Federal Reserve and they try to learn Krav Maga, And then you come up and you're like, why are the interest rates so goddamn low and it's not sustainable and the inflation rates, and then they come at you with a ball kick and and then you get brought down to their level and then they dunk, hit you with that Three Stooges. And then they look at you, and the yarmulke is levitating, with their tyrant energy. And then it comes down, the yarmulke comes down, and the shades come down all at once. And they're like, deal with it, Goyim. What up, Primordial Soup? But at a fundamental level, you can't blame the Jews for being so neurotic and freaked out and scrambly. All right, they're the white people of the Middle East. They're surrounded by cousin fuckers and suicide bombers. Of course, dude. I'd be nervous too. All right, that's how you produce a Larry David. That's how you produce a goddamn Larry David. I'm going to be responsible with my beer intake tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a milkshake to drink. I've got protein powder to mix in. We're at 2:23 in the a.m. here on the West Coast, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a fabulous stream, but I don't want to push it. I don't want to compromise the health here on the podcast We're keeping it disciplined. All right? The arguments will stay sharp. We're keeping the arguments sharp like a goddamn samurai sword, dude. We're making gains, one milkshake at a time. Like the stream if you like it. Share that bad motherfucker out. All right. PayPal.me/Outrage TV if you want to contribute to the rent fund, to the Western Civilization Defense Fund, to the Outrage Chancellor Fund. All right. We're not on that gay Charlie Manson shit, dude. We're not on that 5'2" shit. All right. We're out here, trying to construct the outrage commune. All right. We're recruiting, and there's no helter skelter. There's just, the non-aggression principle. All right. The meek shall inherit the earth. And by the meek, I mean the people who have their swords sharp and keep them sheathed. All right, unless you come at a motherfucker, and then the theoretical John Wick comes out, dude. Then you never know what the fuck is gonna happen. I might just clear a room, dude. I'm that 10th level prestige on Call of Duty 4. Don't test me. All right, don't step on my property. Don't encroach. Don't step on the toes of my goddamn Constitution. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. Lil Jon is a philosopher. All right? Snap your fingers. Do your stare. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. I want to see William Barr snap his fingers. And I want to see some goddamn indictments, dude. We got the heavily mustached, judge from Connecticut. He's coming in here. He's street sweeping. Street sweeping the sneaks. We're getting the dust off of this goddamn evidence. We're getting indictments. We're getting in there. Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I want the damn indictments. And it's a goddamn shame I have to depend on the government to be able to do what I know needs to be done. But this is a system we were born into. All right, so we got to make the best of it. We're here making the arguments. We're shaming the communists. We're shaming the evildoers. We're grabbing our nuts and we're pointing out the bullshit. All right, we're doing military press. We're doing chin-ups, we're doing dips. We got the weight around our waist while we're doing dips. Donkey Kong, I did not block you. I did not block Cheap Jewish Man. I don't know if Donkey Kong and Cheap Jewish Man are the same person. Cheap Jewish Man, by the nature of his name, he might be a little sneaky, and that's okay. We'll take the high IQ on our team, dude. We need somebody to haggle. All right, I'm looking to get a good price on a home defense firearm. All right, I need somebody on my team that's going to haggle. Ultimately, I'm trying to be wrapped up in this Jewish, in this Jewish bubble wrap out here in Hollywood, dude. I'm trying to, insulate myself. I need a manager. I need an agent. I need an entertainment lawyer. I'm trying to assemble a team of sneaks to defend Western civilization. I'm the consensual Genghis Khan, dude. I ride over that hill with my team of sneaks, and the men of the civilization are like, oh my God, he's the leader. And the women are like, oh my God, we want to be with him. And I'm like, settle down. I'm just doing the comedy show and then I'm moving on. And we're going to shame YouTube if they're going to censor Donkey Kong 303 because we don't put up with that shit, dude. This is that free speech channel. We get on here, we get rowdy, we get rude. That's just what the fuck it is. I appreciate y'all bad motherfuckers hanging out. Like it if you like it. Share that bad motherfucker out. PayPal.me/Outrage TV. Hit that subscribe button. Outrage Cast. I'll put the full audio up on all the podcast apps, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to dig down on that milkshake and have myself a nice little sleepy sleep there. We got to rest up to defend Western civilization for another night. I shall return tomorrow night I'm gonna get on stage tomorrow night, dude. We're gonna get it lit. We're gonna get after it. Defending Western civilization, one argument, one natty light at a time. You guys know what the fuck it is. We're getting big on the podcast. Come on! I wish I could play the fucking Hulk Hogan song, but you know what? We're abstaining from the music. Fuck YouTube. We don't need the music. We got our own swag going, baby. We got our own energy. We don't need them. PayPal.me/Outrage TV. If you want to contribute to the rent fund, ladies and gentlemen, we're collecting our shekels. We're getting things together. You know, until tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, I shall see you bad motherfuckers once again, and we shall rise our shields, we shall rise our swords, and we shall say, give us liberty or give us death. It's your choice, Deep State Sneaks. It's your